Go see. I think we're running now. Great. Let's see here. Camera. There we go. See if we can do this. Oh yeah, that's fatty me. 40 fat and finished. That's me. Anyway, I wonder if I got the blue ones. I think I have the blue ones, but they tend to apparently deteriorate in color. Anyway, so we have like Palestinian, maybe a little too big. Why won't you accept the two-state solution? That's 2 weeks ago. Let's see here. And of course, okay, maybe I should turn it this way around so I have the camera a little too up. That seems to be, the camera is still like, so I need to hold it like this. That's kind of bad, Oh well, anyway, I guess it is what it is. Let's try this thing and just hold it a little to the side here. Okay, see here. Can we move it up here maybe and then draw it out here? Yep, there we go. Hack the planet as we always do. So this is like Philistinians that are asked, and that would be usually Mohammedans as well, being asked about a two-state so-called solution, two-state depravity madness. It's the Jewish homeland, and this is actually, with the so-called West Bank, whatever you want to call that, the West Bank and the Golan Heights are just a part of Israel, really. Like the whole thing, with the Golan Heights and the West Bank is actually just a part of Israel. It actually goes from the river in Egypt to the river in Iraq, and I clearly have some issues speaking. And I have to, anyway. It's like it's just it's heavy here. Anyway, so it actually goes from the river to the river in Egypt to the river in Iraq, and then you have Turkey to Saudi Arabia, pretty much to the north, and then to the south. So Israel, in the future at some point will become very big. Might be when the Messiah returns and all that in regards to Yeshua. But anyway, of course, Israel will become the nation above any other nation. And of course, Jerusalem is the capital of the Jews, Like the Mohammedans, like, oh, the children of Zion is trying to take Jerusalem from us. Well, Zion is synonymous for Jerusalem. They could have said, oh, the children of Jerusalem is trying to take Jerusalem from us. It's like, it would pretty much be the same. Anyway, of course, it's just absolutely retarded. You have so many Jewish things and, of course, history in regards to the Bible. So to say that this is, Arab land or that the Mohammedans own this land, of course, is absolutely disgusting, filthy rubbish and satanic nonsense, lies and deceptions and all that. Anyway, man, I'm not sure if I should turn the camera here. Maybe it's easier to actually look at the camera if I look like this, it's a little hard. Yeah, at least we have okay, I'm looking at myself and then looking at myself. I'm kind of, well, it doesn't look like I'm looking at the camera. When I'm looking at the camera right there, it doesn't actually look like I'm looking at the camera. It looks like I'm looking behind it. Let's see here. I'm looking at the camera now. Does it look like I'm looking at the camera? I don't think so. Anyway, let's see what we have here. Then we have the Philistinian flag. Why don't you want a two-state solution?
Yes? Okay, why? Because we want the war to be over. Anything else? That's what he's asking. You're willing to live next to Israel. As equals. Yeah. بشكل متساوي؟ لا. طب قلنا شو حل الدولتين بالنسبة لك ولا two-state solution؟ حل الدولتين أنت حكيت عنه كيف برأيك؟ كيف بتحب يكون؟ شو طبعا دولة So we want a state of our own with Jerusalem as our.
We want a state of our own with Jerusalem as our capital. So, who gave Jerusalem as the capital of the Arabs or the Mohammedans? Oh, no one. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what is the capital of the Jews? Oh, that's Jerusalem. Yeah. Anyway, it's just that they're stinky liars and bullshitters and evil, wicked people following the devil. And yeah, it's just a typical, continual rubbish of madness. Um,
Our capital.
Of course, they don't even believe in Jesus as well. They lie, they piss on Jesus all day long. Oh, we believe in Jesus. No, you don't. Yes, we do. No, you don't. You made up your own bullshit version that is not Jesus. It's like they will go around and bullshit around, and it's stinking filthy and it's very smelly, and I'm sick and tired of it.
Okay, can Israel exist?
ممكن إسرائيل تكون جنبنا؟
لا مش ممكن انا ارض فلسطينيه ان شاء
No,
الله
they're Palestinian
Now,
land.
these are Philistines' lands, and this is what they believe, that they believe that this land that was given to the Jews is their land. It's insanity, and of course they have so much hatred against the Jews. They want to make another Holocaust while rejecting the former Holocaust, although they tend to praise Hitler anyway. And do the Nazi salute as well. You can find lots of Mohammedans doing that, doing the Roman Nazi salute. Because Roman Catholicism and Mohammedanism is pretty much the same. It's two sides of the same wicked coin. Although Roman Catholicism is wolves in sheep clothing, whereas Mohammedans are just stinking wolves following Muhammad, the false prophet, the clear stinking false prophet.
Why? Why can't Israel exist?
ليش تدفع إسرائيل تكون موجودة جنبنا؟
احنا اصحاب الارض مش هم.
Because you're the owners of the land.
Because we are the owners of the land. Oh, really? So who gave you that land?
That's why.
Do you want a two-state solution with Israel?
هل بدك حل دولتين مع إسرائيل؟ الناس برا عم تسأل.
لا لا ما بعرفش السياسه
I know nothing about politics.
انا ما بعرفش السياسه ولا شيء
I know nothing about politics.
So, okay. But do you know if you want one or not?
احكي له انا ماليش في السياسه من مره
I have nothing to do with politics.
Do you want a two-state solution with Israel?
هل بدك حل دولتين مع إسرائيل؟
Yes.
هل بدك حل دولتين بتكون إحنا دولة وإسرائيل دولة؟
Would you agree to a two-state solution? Yes or no?
هلا هذا
With
الأسئلة
Israel.
من برا جاية لأن الناس ما بتعرف كيف إحنا بنفكر. فهل ممكن أنت تقبل بحل الدولتين؟
لا
ليش؟
لانه دوله فلسطين هي الاساس
No, because originally it's Palestine.
It's like these people are just full of bullshit. Mental retardedness could maybe be another word for it. Overall, this two-state depravity is rubbish, and that the whole world is pushing this two-state nonsense is wicked, satanic bullshit. Of course, we have an agenda behind the scenes that wants this to be a thing, and it might also become a thing in the future, but it's still bullshit. Egypt should open up their borders for the people in Gaza, and Jordan should open up their borders for the people in the so-called West Bank. But anyway, because the West Bank is Israel, the Golan Heights is Israel. Pretty much, you have a lot of land where you have a lot of occupiers upon Israeli land, like the Jordanians, the Lebanese, the Syrians, the Saudi Arabians, Egyptians as well. Oh yeah, Iranian. Oh, sorry, not Iranians. My bad. Iraq. Well, how about you say Iraqians? Iraqians? I don't know. Yeah. Iran, as far as I know, is actually not on Jewish soil, or Israeli soil. Yeah. Oh yeah, Turkey as well, occupying Israeli land as well. So you see, just this little piece of land that the Jews have now, it's just a part of Israel, you see. And Jerusalem, of course, is the capital of Israel. It's Zion. And the children of Zion, well, their capital is Zion. Jerusalem. The children of Jerusalem that's trying to take Jerusalem from us. It's like, yeah, those people. Yeah, that's the Jews. So anyway, I'm just sick and tired of the Mohammedans. But what the Mohammedans really want, they don't want the Jews on any land. They don't want the Jews to have a square meter of land. They want another Holocaust. They want to paint Israel red with Jewish blood, and they want to drive the remnant down into the sea. Okay? Can you people understand that? There's a reason why, the Jews, like when you poke a lion enough, the lion will respond. At the moment, the lion is responding to all the bullshit that the Mohammedans are doing. Because you see, the Mohammedans want this conflict. If they really didn't want the conflict, they actually wanted the solution, they wouldn't do what they're doing. Egypt would open up the borders. Have all the aid and all those trucks in Egypt. They would open up the borders for those people who wanted to leave Gaza. And Jordan, of course, would open up the borders for the people in the West Bank. Now, the Mohammedans could sell the land to the Jews. As far as I know, many of these actually can get a pretty good offer for the land, and then they can move away if they don't like Jews. If they don't like Jews, then move, because this is Jewish homeland, okay? So it's not your land, it's Jewish land. And if you don't like Jews, you have, like also the so-called Christians, whatever you want to, they proclaim Christians that says, oh, they don't understand why Christians wouldn't support them and this and that. And like one of them, I think he was a priester, and he says, oh, the Christians, these Christians, outside of, they just take the Bible too literal. Ah, okay. Maybe you don't take the Bible too, literal enough, in regards of things. Anyway, this is Jewish homeland. This is Israel, and but it seems to be proclaimed Christian Arabs that have this problem with Jews and all that. It's like I saw another Christian and like, oh, there's Jews over there and Jews over there and Jews over there, and it's like, oh yeah, there's Jews everywhere. Oh yeah, it's like that would be awesome. It's like, oh yeah, there's Jews there, there's Jews there. It's like, but instead of seeing it as a positive thing, it's like, oh, there's Jews over there, and over on that hill there's Jews, and over on that hill there's Jews, and over on that hill there's Jews, and I was like, oh, that's Jews. Oh yeah, amazing. But so these Arab Christians didn't really, so-called, whatever you want to call them, but it seems to be a thing of Christians who are Arab, at least that that they have these views, like they should be just happy, happy, happy. Oh, the Jews are coming home, Yeah, the Jews are coming home. It's like, yeah, yippee yippee yay, but no, apparently not. No yippee yippee yay. So they also have problems in regards of, and I don't know, if they read the Bible, how could they not, how could they be against the Jews returning to their homeland, Anyway, and I think someone wants to park here. Okay, let's see it.
I think someone wants to park here.
Okay. But for the sake of peace, would you have, if Israel agreed, would you agree? For the sake of peace.
بس يعني عشان يصير في سلام. عشان السلام.
Now, the thing is, if the Mohammedans, the only thing the Mohammedans want, or the Arabs, again, not all Mohammedans are Arabs, The Persians, for example, in regards of Iran and all that, are not Arabs. But anyway, and you have lots of other Mohammedans that are not Arabs, But in any case, the only thing they want is to, if they get that land, the only reason why they want that land is so they can, move closer to kick out the Jews. That's the only thing. And one of the reasons why the Jews also took that land was in regards of defense, from other nations, in regards of having this a piece of land. But anyway, because that's like a cliff and then it goes up and all that. I can't remember all the details on it. But anyway, yeah. But the thing is, the only reason why they want that piece of land is to further push out the Jews. They don't want the Jews. They don't see They don't see, they don't want any Jews, any Jewish land, and they don't want any Israel,
هو بصير سلام بس لما يطلع من بلدنا. لما يطلع غير الحال ما فيش مجال.
There would be peace when they leave our country. I
There
said,
you go.
is there no other way? He said,
There will be peace when they leave our country. Who gave you, who gave you this piece of land, huh? These Mohammedans, they try to gain credibility and authority from the Bible, and yet they turn around and piss on all over it. Whatever doesn't agree with them must be corrupted in the book of the Bible, or the collection, book of the Bible. I was apparently having a little hard time to speak here. In regards of the collection of books, in regards of the Bible, if something disagrees with them, it must be corrupted, And so they believe this is their land, But yet they try to get authority, or what do you call it? They try to get authority to their own bullshit religion, of Satan from the Bible, And yet they turn around and piss all over it, like they piss on Jesus, They piss and turd on Jesus all the time. And they can say, no, we love you. No, you don't. And I'm sick and tired of you liars and deceivers. Every time they're lying. They're deceiving. They're, doing the work of the devil. They're not believing in Jesus. Oh, but you don't believe he's a prophet? Of course he's a prophet. He's a prophet of prophets. He's God in the flesh. But he's not only a prophet. It's like they will try to, it's like Roman Catholics and all that slick old bullshitters and all that. They will do anything to do the work of the devil, and that's just how it is. It's filthy, it's stinking evil, and don't waste my time with bullshit, okay? I'm sick and tired of bullshitters, And Mohammedans are bullshitters, following a false prophet who had sex with a 9-year young girl when he was 54 years old, okay? And that's not even the worst thing that he did. What was worse was that he denied that Jesus is God, and they made up their own version of Jesus, who is not Jesus. Like so many other people out in the world making up their own bullshit version of Jesus, like the cookie Jesus as well. That's the papist version of Jesus. A flat dead cookie, that can't save a single soul. And then you have a whole list of other false versions out there. So that's why you go to the Gospel of John and read it and find out who Jesus really is, because then no one can deceive you if you go look at the first sources from the first century. That helps you a lot,
هو بصير سلام بس لما يطلع من بلدنا. لما يطلع غير الحال ما فيش مجال.
There would be peace when they leave our country. I said,
when they leave our country. No. You Mohammedans, Arabs, are the occupiers. You need to leave Israel. Get out of Israel. If you don't like the Jews, get out. That's the, if you want some peace in the Middle East, Egypt should open up their borders, at the very instant. They should have done that long, long ago. But they don't want to do it because the Mohammedans will say one thing, and they will deceive and bullshit around and all that. The thing is, they want this conflict because they want the Jews to get out. They want the conflict with the Jews. This is the political agenda, whatever you want to call it. But this is the agenda. They want the conflict with the Jews, and they want to have the whole world hate the Jews, while the Mohammedans are the one making the issues,
Is there no other way? He said, there's no other way.
هذا المحتل ضل محتل.
This occupier will remain and will always be.
There we go. This occupier will always be an occupier. I guess you didn't read the Bible, right? And this is the thing again, right? Mohammedans tend to, go to the Bible in regards of, getting credibility, in regards of the Bible, Oh, we're worshiping the same God as the Bible and blah, 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 and all that. But when it really comes to it, they don't, they clearly don't read the Bible. And if they do, they will reject anything in regards of it, that disagrees with their own bullshit, their own satanic rubbish. So this occupier will always be an occupier. Oh, really? Really? I hear the old snake speaking, and I'm sick and tired of it, I just can't. It's just so, what's the word again? Unserious, There's another word, which I can't remember. Um, like we have a good Danish word in regards of it that is sounding very good, and it's very like useriøst, There's an English word apparently, but it doesn't sound like it's as good as the Danish. But it's just ridiculous, I'm sick and tired of these Mohammedans that bullshitting around,
An occupier.
Do you want a two-state solution with Israel?
هل بدك حل دولتين مع إسرائيل؟ لا.
No. Why?
No, and even if they say yes, the only reason why they say yes is because they see it as a step towards getting the Jews out of that land. A step in the right direction to get the Jews out. To crush the Israeli state and land, country. They don't want, don't want Israel on the map. And they believe that at some point in the future they will crush Israel totally, and and then it will be Arab or Mohammedan land once again. Because it's a big issue for the Mohammedans. There's this little piece of land in the middle of all these Mohammedans that is actually not Mohammedan, So, and not under their what do you call it? Under their power, under their rule,
السبب لانه اول شيء هم محتليننا يعني تخيل حدا مثلا دخل واستعمر بيتك هو إلك ما رح تقبل فيه يعني احنا لا ما رح نقبل
ما في مجال ما في مجال
لانهم احتلال.
They're an occupier. Imagine someone came into
They are an occupier. Imagine someone came into your house and took half of it. The Jews didn't come into your land. You're living in their land as a guest. This is God's land. He gave it to the Jews. And we know that the Jews would come back at some point, so you should also have known if you're Mohammedans and try to get your authority and authenticity from the Bible as well, right? You should have known what the Bible said, right? Mm-hmm.
the house and took half of it.
Yeah, I would agree to give them half. I don't care.
Not saying that.
Okay, fine.
I see here. Okay, go a little bit.
Imagine someone came into your house and
Imagine someone came into your house and took half of it. Yeah, the Philistinians, or you Arabs, you Mohammedans. Yeah. Well, you want the whole thing, right? You're a guest in the Jewish house, not the other way around.
half of it.
Yeah, I would agree to give them half.
I would agree to give them half. I don't care. Well, I don't think the Jews should give them half at all. You already given up, Gaza, you gave, the Egyptian land, you gave land back to the Egyptians and all that. You shouldn't give any land back, because the Mohammedans just want to destroy you. That's the whole goal. That's their, they might not say it. And again, even if there are some outspoken people here, but what they want is to paint Israel red with Jewish blood. Like the thing that we saw 7th of October was just a little thing in the bucket. They want to fill the whole bucket on the same thing on all in regards to all of Israel. This was just a little taste of what they really want to do, and on a worldwide, on a whole level in the whole of Israel, they want to paint the land red with Jewish blood. That is what they want. They are taught this Jewish hatred from their very childhood. It's when you have Mohammedans that actually become Christians, they turn this love into this hatred into love for the Jews. It's interesting how that goes. You have these, and they talk openly about how they were taught this Jew hatred. We have more than enough witnesses in regards to this, and data points. Anyway, so I would agree to give them half. I don't care. That's the Jew talking here.
I don't care.
Not saying that.
Okay, fine.
I'm not saying that. Yeah.
But
Yeah. You're not saying that because you want the whole thing. You believe that the whole of Israel is yours, but it's not.
you could end the war.
You could end the war. You could end.
متخيلة إنه لو صار عندنا حل دولتين الحرب بتخلص
Well, you couldn't really, if you push this two-state rubbish that all the world is pushing, including the 57 Mohammedan nations, and sadly the Western nations as well pushing this rubbish in regards of a two-state. Maybe there's something in regards of all roads leads to Rome, and there's someone that actually wants to, there's an agenda in regards of fixing and the Temple Mount and all that. But anyway, so that actually in the future there might be, it might actually end up, fixing this two-state rubbish for a time, but it's not a solution. It's more depravity and all that. But the agenda behind the scenes, the shadow government that runs the whole world and all that, are pushing in this direction. So it might actually end up, but it's not the solution. The solution is that Egypt would open up. We already have the solution. The solution is actually not that hard to figure out. It was there from it's been around a long time, Egypt opened up the borders. Like, you have all the people in Gaza, if Egypt really wanted to, but it's a red line, they say. When they actually speak about it, including Jordan and Egypt, so I know they know about the solution. They just don't want to talk about it. It's a red line, as they say. So apparently we don't want to talk about all the options that is actually out there in regards to these summits that they were holding and still holding. One was in Saudi Arabia not long ago, another summit. I think it's the third Arab summit, at least as far as I know, or third Mohammedan summit. And they're just bullshitting around as usual in regards to two-state bullshit and peace and security and all those catchwords and all that. But they don't want to talk about, and if they talk about this other option, they will say it's a red line and it's I guess a war crime to say that Jordan could open up the borders for those Philistinians in the West Bank and all that. So anyway, you can call it what you want, but this is the solution. If you don't want to live with the Jews, then move out, If you don't like Jews, why would you live in the Jewish homeland, huh? Oh, but we this and that. Yeah, well, anyway, you are on Jewish homeland. If you came to the Jewish homeland and put your spot down as this is my home and all that, well, you're still on Jewish land. If you don't like Jews, it might be, why would you then move into, that place, If you don't like Jews, why would you want to move into that place, That's just, yeah. Anyway, because you're bullshit, filthy, mad people who are mental retarded, who follows the devil and loves darkness like flies to a stinking turd. That's Mohammedanism. You're following a false prophet that came 600 years after the event. 600 years. You need to retake all the first century sources to follow this bullshitter and the rest of the history, of course. It's like 600 years come lately. Yeah, come late, Yeah. You rather want to follow that bullshitter than the true version of Jesus Christ. Yeah. That's what you can handle. You love the devil. You love the old snake. You're all pagans. You're all pagans in the past and you're all pagans today. The devil just collected you together in one satanic, filthy system. That's pretty much what, that's just pretty much what it is. Yeah. There would be no stability.
The wars would not end so long as some.
No, it wouldn't. No, it's not a solution. It's just a further engagement in conflict, As long as someone is occupying your land, again, they have the whole foundation wrong. You flip it 180 degrees around, and then you have the truth, when the Mohammedans are speaking, when they say that this is our land, no, this is Jewish land you are on. You are the occupiers. It's not your land. If you can't accept that, that's your problem, But this is Jewish land. And if you want to bullshit around and do the devil's work and all that, well, and hate the Jews, curse the Jews, and want to, make another Holocaust and paint the whole of Israel, land red with Jewish blood and all that, you gotta be kidding me. Stinking, evil, filthy people of the devil, and want to drive the remnant of the Jews out. And the thing is, the Jews knows this, It's just the rest of the world that is just full of garbage and totally retarded up in there upstairs, Oh, Tuesday. give me a break with the bullshit of a two-state rubbish. Egypt, open your borders. Why is no one telling Egypt to open your freaking borders? Get these people. Oh, we have all this aid in Egypt and all that. Yeah. Oh, we can't get it into Gaza. Well, maybe let the people go to the aid and not the aid to the people, huh? That would also help Israel in regards of crushing Hamas, and we would have less people being killed because you Egyptians would then help out, right, on a peaceful solution that would help the Jews fix Hamas and all that. But no, you don't want that. You want a conflict. You want to have more people killed, because the people can't flee to Egypt. Those who doesn't want to take part in it, that just want to get out and all that, and want a normal life and all that, they can't do that because Egypt are stinking, filthy evil, and Jordan as well are stinking, filthy evil, So, this bullshit of saying, oh, but no, Egypt shouldn't open up the borders. Israel can take these people in. Well, how retarded are you, to even come up with such bullshit, to take people in who hates Israel, to put them in the southern, this. But anyway, I know that Egypt knows the solution, and Jordan knows it as well, because I've seen them, talk about it. And I also wrote to them in the, long ago in regards to this. And I know they know the solution, but they don't want to react on it. So blood is on their hands, and they can talk about this and that and give Israel the fault for everything and all that. But they are stinking, filthy, disgusting, evil pigs, Yeah. Anyway, I just maybe I shouldn't use, but just it's just so filthy, They could have saved so many lives and could have helped Israel in regards of a peaceful solution. Take out air out of the balloon, but the thing is, they don't want that. This is not this is not what they want. They want conflict. They want Israel gone from the map, and they can say one thing to us when they speak English, and they can say something else when they talk Arab. Stinking, filthy liars and deceivers. That's what they are. Okay? This is Jewish homeland, and, you should leave Israel alone. If you leave Israel alone, they leave you alone, Anyway, as long as someone is occupying your land, to the Mohammedans, it's not your land. Never will be.
Occupying your land.
Okay, and you're talking about 48 lands. What's today Israel?
She's talking about the whole thing, if she's honest at least. Now, some of these Mohammedans might be afraid in regards to saying the truth and all that, all deceiving, and this and that. What's it called? Tikaya? What was it called? I can't remember this. Chikaya, I can't remember the practice of Mohammedans in regards of lying to defend their own bullshit religion. Like the Roman Catholics, which they have a lot of things in common with, but anyway.
All of Palestine is ours. It's not
all of Palestine. You see?
Today Israel.
It's not that hard to figure out, They believe that all Philistinian, is theirs. There's no Philistinian, okay? If they want the Philistinian, it already is a two-state solution. It's called Jordan. I think they should move to Jordan, go to Jordan. The West Bank was part of Jordan for a good amount of time, right? So maybe they should just go to Jordan. Maybe Jordan should open up the borders and let these people into Jordan and naturalize them. And by the way, when these Mohammedans are saying, oh, we have refugees, Philistinian refugees, and we've had them for a long, long time. Yeah, why are these people not naturalized yet into your nation? Because I know that Jews all over the world have come back to Israel, their homeland, and been naturalized into the Jewish community and Israel. How is it that you couldn't do the same thing for your Mohammedan so-called brothers and sisters in regards to the Ummah? Whatever bullshit, Anyway, it's the religion of fear, bullshit, deception, evil, wicked, lies, I guess that was kind of a double thing, But yeah, rejecting Jesus, while they say they believe in Jesus, they are, clearly not. and they are just pissing on Jesus again and again. I'm just sick and tired of it. I'm just all this softness in regard. Oh, we need to be soft and all that. I'm sick and tired of it. They are filthy, stinking liars. I'm not going to just accept someone's bullshit because we shouldn't offend them. They will become aggressive and they want to chop your head off and all that, and they want to kill you and all that. No, like give me a break with the bullshit. They're filthy, stinking bullshitters of the devil. I can't remember what it's called in regards of Chakia. At the moment, my brain apparently can't. But they're allowed to deceive for their religion, like the Roman Catholics, and so you can't even even if you know what they believe, you can't even expect them to actually the more you know about Mohammedanism, the more you can see when they're lying and deceiving. Who wants to be part of a religion where you lie, where you are allowed to lie and deceive? What's it called? Chikia. Let's see here. Lying for I guess we need to use this word Islam, which of course I usually wouldn't use because it's not Islam, it's Mohammedanism. And in regards to most Muslims, no, it's Mohammedans. Let's see here. Tikaya. Oh, yeah. See, Tikaya is the simulation and secrecy of religious belief and practice. Yeah, liars and deceivers, Tikia, something of that nature. Anyway, so sometimes since I went into that. Anyway, let's see further what we have. In fact, I should probably have some coffee or something like that before making this video. All of Palestine is ours. It is not for Israel.
Something not.
Oh, really? Have you ever read the Bible? Because I kind of, the Bible is kind of about the Israelites being in that part of, land and all that, and that it was given by God to the Israelites, It's just the history is kind of about that area, and Jerusalem, the capital city of the Jews, Anyway, give me a question that is not political. Oh my!
Oh, is a two-state solution political?
Yeah, kind of is.
I don't really understand about this. Ask me something normal, general.
Okay. Do you want a two-state solution with Israel?
هل بدك حل دولتين مع إسرائيل؟
والله احنا نحب السلام. بدنا السلام.
We love peace.
بدنا نعيش مع بعض.
We want peace. We want peace.
Bullshit. Bullshit. We want peace. Bullshit, and more bullshit. We have some of these who actually, get material from the Mohammedans, and you have this song, where they're singing, in regards of and promoting blowing up, and glorifying blowing up civilian buses. We're not talking about military targets or anything like that. We're just talking about terrorizing Jewish civilians, And you have this civilian bus for the Jews that is blown up in the background, and they're singing, and you're seeing this guy strapping up the bombs and being ready for doing the, yeah. And I don't think you see any military Jews in that video. He goes on the bus, and there's a lot of civilian. Well, maybe there's not that many shown, but you get the idea. There's like civilian Jews going on this bus, and it's exploding and all that, and they're just singing and glorifying this. If you go to Israel, that would be the kind of buses you would, these are standard civilian buses. And they're glorifying exploding these buses because they want the Jews to fear. They don't want any peace for the Jews, They want to terrorize the Jews, until they go away. Anyway, we want peace together. Give me a break. You don't want peace,
Together. And safety and security.
Oh, safety and security, right. 57 Mohammedan nations, two-state solution, safety and security. Bullshit. And Jerusalem as the capital of this Philistinian bullshit. Another state, already had Gaza. They also have Jordan. I don't know. Like, you want a third one? Yeah, apparently. Like, how does that usually? Yeah, it doesn't usually. It didn't really go good in Gaza, at least, right? All the conflict in Gaza and all that. Anyway, they don't want peace. They just want, if they're saying that they want a two-state thing and all that, it's just a step in the direction of getting rid of the Jews from that place. From the overall place, because they believe that all of Israel is theirs.
ونكون يعني في امان ونكون يعني بسلام.
We want to be in safety and
On
peace.
safety and peace. Oh, yeah. Maybe you should stop hating the Jews then, and stop cursing the Jews, stop supporting these organizations against the Jews and all that.
So he would accept a two-state solution.
ممكن أنت تقبل بحل دولتين. ممكن تقبل بحل دولتين. شو رأيك؟
Oh, like, look at his face, He's thinking.
حل دولتين حل دولتين.
If it's a two-state solution, it's a two-state solution.
Nah, yeah, because it's just another step in the direction of getting the Jews, getting rid of the Jews. Because again, that's what they want. They want to get rid of the Jews. They don't want the Jews to be in what they see as their land. And I'm not sure why this one is not going to. It should be able to just move away from the screen, being a lot smaller. But there we go. Apparently in the bottom it works, not in the top.
Do you want a two-state solution?
شو رأيك بحل الدولتين؟ جاوب بالعربي.
No, they don't. They don't want a two-states bullshit rubbish, The only reason why they would say yes to that is because they see it as a step, and maybe also being pushed in regards of, oh, we have to say that because we can't say what we really want. Because if I say what we really want, there might be some trouble.
ما بحبش احكي في السياسه.
ليش؟
هيك.
لا عن جد ليش؟ ما بدنا جواب للسؤال، بدنا جواب ليش بدك تحكي في السياسة.
لا ما بحبش احكي في السياسه هيك انا.
I wonder in regards of law, is that no in Arab?
انا انسان هيك في حال حاجه.
Okay, I don't like to
I don't like to speak about politics. Yeah.
speak about politics or talk about politics because because I'm someone who's peaceful.
Who's peaceful. Well, maybe you shouldn't be a Mohammedan if you're peaceful. And doesn't like to get into this.
And doesn't like to go into things.
You, Muhammad. Yes. Would you agree to a two-state solution with the Israelis for about everything? Okay. So there's Israel and Palestine. Of course, Palestine. No. Would you
Of course, Philistinian.
agree that there's Israel and Palestine? Palestine.
He's
in the
already
West
thinking that this is all Philistinian, And you also see the Philistinians having, like, you can see they have the whole land. Also, I think isn't it the Hamas flag as well also have the whole of Philistinian, besides I think they might not have the, sometimes they don't have the golden hide on it, but you can see what they mean. They mean the whole thing, not just a piece of it. They mean, you don't just mean the West Bank. They mean the whole thing. They want the whole thing. They want all of Israel.
Bank, Gaza.
I not speak English 100%. وضحيني بالعربي شوي شو حكى لي بس.
Would you agree to a two-state solution, Israel and Palestine?
هل ممكن نتوافق على حل دولتين يكون فيها فلسطين عايشة جنب إسرائيل؟
طبعا لا.
لا ليش؟
Why?
طبعا لا، لأن هذه الأرض أرضنا والبلاد بلادنا وهم أجوا علينا مش إحنا جينا عليهم.
This land is ours. This country is ours.
This land is ours. This country is ours. At least they are honest in regards of what they believe. Although, of course, it's satanic bullshit. But at least they are. At least some of them are honest about how they see it. So this land is ours. This country is ours. Yeah.
They came to us, not us.
They came to it. Okay. So, okay. The Jews don't have any history in that piece of land, at all, Yeah, but anyway. So they came. Well, you should have known that the Jews would come back to that land at some point. If you know the Bible, I guess you don't,
طبعا لا.
لا ليش؟
Why?
طبعا لانه هذه الارض ارضنا والبلاد بلادنا وهم اجوا علينا مش احنا جينا عليهم.
This land is ours. This country is ours.
This land is ours. This country is ours. They came to it, not us. You see, how can you live with people like that, you know? And the Jews are living with these people, you know? If that's what they believe, you know, why are they, you know, what are the Jews going to do with that, you know? They have people that they don't believe that this is as Jewish homeland, you know? That this is their land, you know, that the Jews are occupiers. How can you live with people like that, you know? If they have a problem with the Jews, they should get out. They have 57 other Mohammedan nations they can choose from. Like when the guy from Gaza, one of the leaders, was saying that was whining to the Egyptians and the Saudi Arabians for not helping them all many years ago. He was like saying that 50% of the people in Gaza are Egyptians and the other 50% are Saudi Arabians. Shouldn't be that difficult to then find out where they're coming from, should it? You know? Incredible.
Came to us.
You mean all the land?
Yes.
You mean Tel Aviv?
الاسرائيليين كلهم هم اجوا علينا مش احنا جينا عليهم.
All the Israelis are the ones who came.
All the Israelis came to us, not us to them. Oh, really? So when did you come to Israel again? You know, well, Muhammad came around 600 AD, right? You know, how does it work for you in regards of, and also these bullshitters when they say Jesus was a Palestinian? You know, it's just, and an interesting thing is that non-believing Jews actually have responded to that and actually claimed Jesus as their own. It's very interesting because, you know, usually you would see Jews usually having a problem with Jesus. And yet you see non-believing Jews actually standing up and defending that Jesus is actually one of theirs, you know, which he is, you know, of course.
So what's the solution?
ايش كل الارض يعني الارض
يعني كل فلسطين يعني حيفا
all of
يافا
Palestine, حيفا يافا.
كل هذه الاراضي إلنا يعني اراضي جدودنا هاي ان
ايش
شاء
في
الله.
عندك حق؟ ايش في عندك؟
Oh, really? This is our land from our, you know, ancestors? Really? So what is the solution? Well, paint the whole land of Israel red with Jewish blood and drive them out into the ocean, right? Anyway.
حل واقعي, a realistic
Solution.
حل واقعي.
حل واقعي.
يعني الحل كالتالي، انا زلمه لا بحب العنف ولا بحب التعنيف، تمام؟
The solution is as follows. I'm not a person who likes violence.
بالضبط.
Oh, I'm not a person who likes violence. Huh? Are you not a Mohammedan or something, you know?
الحل كالتالي انه هم يطلعوا من بلادنا فقط لا غير.
That they leave our country.
That they leave our country. Yeah. That's the solution, apparently, right? Yeah, that the Jews are leaving their homeland. You know, it's like when the Mohammedans like, why is it that the Jews needs to be here? Why can't they be another place like in Germany or the United States of America and all that? Well, have you read the Bible? Maybe, you know, this is their homeland. You are the occupiers. You Philistinian bullshitters. You stinking, filthy Mohammedans are the occupiers. The Jews are the rightful owners of that land. It was given to them by God. Oh, and don't you proclaim that you are following God? Of course you're not. Of course you're following the devil. But, you know, you're proclaiming, right, that you're following the God of the Bible. Of course you're not, but that's what you're claiming, right? Yeah. Bullshitters, and more bullshitters. Anyway. And that's it. That's his solution, right? The Jews leave, you know, Israel. And also, you can also see where people kind of stand in regards to this, if they're on the bullshitting side or if they're on the just side. You know, when they talk about this land, you know, this thing, if they're saying Israel or if they're saying Philistine, you know, so-called Palestine. You can see already there where they stand on the subject. You know. So when I say Israel, they already know where I'm standing on it pretty much, you know. Because, you know, if you're supporting in regards, if you believe, you know, that, you know, you would say Philistine, right? So so they already, when I say Israel, they already know where I'm standing on this. And the same thing, why, you know, the other way around, you know, or nearly using a Roman bullshit term in regards to that. You have to be careful about that. Don't want any Roman bullshit, right?
But they're not going to leave.
But they're not going to leave. No, of
هذا شيء
course
مكتوب في
not.
القرآن
Of
الكريم يعني.
course the Jews are not going to leave because it's their homeland, you know.
في كتابنا وفي كتاب في الإنجيل وفي التوراة كل شيء مكتوب.
Something that is mentioned in the
هذه
Quran,
اسمها أرض الرباط.
It's like something that is mentioned in the Quran, in the Torah, and the New Testament. So, oh, yeah, there's kind of mentioned that the Jews would come back. Yeah, yeah. Even in the stinking, filthy, blasphemous book of the Quran, I think 2 times at least, saying that the Jews would come back or the Israelis would come back to their homeland at some point, you know. And yet you want to be so stinking, filthy and proclaim that this is your land. You know, you got to be kidding me. And in the Torah, it's like maybe people should read the Bible. I know that a lot of people are Bible illiterate, you know, these days. Maybe that's actually a Roman word. But anyway, you know, that they kind of don't read the Bible and all that. Maybe people should begin to read the Bible and kind of notice, you know, where the history is going on, lots of the history, and what capital the Jews have, you know, in the book, you know, or in the book collection of history, you know, then you don't get deceived by these bullshitters, you know.
Okay, so the two-state solution question.
شو رأيكم في حل الدولتين؟
Yes, no.
كيف يعني؟
انتوا مع حل الدولتين ولا لا؟
لا طبعا.
ليش؟
كيف مش فاهم السؤال يعني يصير دولتين دولة فلسطين دولة إسرائيل لا لأنه إحنا أرضنا يعني كيف يصير دولتين هم أجوا علينا.
We don't want a two-state solution because it's ours. They came to this land.
You see, they're actually telling the truth, you know, on the, you know, there's actually a good amount of them that actually is at least honest in regards of it. This is our land. You know, of course, they're full of bullshit, you know, because it's not their land. But at least they're actually honest about it, you know. What they might not say that they, you know, want to paint the whole land of Israel red with Jewish blood and fix the remnant out into the ocean, you know. But anyway, because like when you say, oh, I'm not for violence, but they should leave. Well, they want to push the Israelis out or the Jews out. And they, you know, in regards of painting the whole land red with Jewish blood. Again, the 7th of October was just a little drop in the bucket in regards of what they want to fill up in regards to the bucket. They want to fill the whole bucket up, you know. If they are allowed or if they have the possibility to do it, they will do it. Okay? Like 7th of October, the question, you know, you could say, well, you know, why wasn't there any protection in regards to the 7th of October and all that? You know, that was clearly, you know, clearly something totally went wrong, or, you know, something is clearly smelling in regards of, but the thing is, if they, you know, you could see visible, if they are allowed to do what they want to do, you know, if they have the possibility to do what they want to do. 7th of October was just a little drop in the bucket of what they really want to do to the Jews, you know. If they have the possibility, they will paint the whole land of Israel red with Jewish blood. And the remnant they will drive into the ocean, the sea, okay? Why is it that so hard to understand that all these Mohammedans have so much hatred against the Jews? It's disgusting. It's filthy. They are hating the Jews. They're cursing the Jews, you know. Maybe they should actually bless the Jews. Maybe they would get some blessings if they actually began blessing the Jews instead of cursing them, you know. Yeah, I understand that the Jews are not spotless saints and all that, but it is their land, okay? So who is standing on the right and the wrong on this? Well, the Jews are standing on the right, and the Mohammedans are standing on the wrong or false, you know. So on this level, who is this land? Well, this is Jewish land. This is Israeli land. And if you say otherwise, you're full of bullshit. Of course, we know that the Mohammedans are just full of bullshit on so many levels. It's not only in regards to this subject. Like when he was with this guy was going around and talking about all the Jewish findings in the land of Israel and all that. All these Mohammedans just, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. What are you talking about? You know, are you kidding me? because, like, they don't want to, they don't want to say, oh, the Jews were there in the past, the Israelis was there in the past, yeah, because this is Jewish homeland. And then, oh, no, 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 give me a break. Anyway, of course, I think Netanyahu should, but I'm probably not going to happen, but I think he should take the Temple Mount, give Hamas around 3 hours to release the hostages, and if not, blow up to those 2 buildings on the Temple Mount, those stinking, filthy Mohammedan buildings, that blasphemous, filthy, stinking, satanic, pagan buildings on the Temple Mount, and take them out. Shouldn't be that difficult, Give them 3 hours to release the hostages. If they don't release the hostages, they lose. Because if you see on the Hamas flag, you have the golden dome on it. So every time they will look at the Hamas flag in the future, they can think about how they lost. This is the root, Instead of all these other things and all that, if you really want to go to the root of it and really have the Mohammedan have a spanking for what they have done and all that, you go up and take the Temple Mount, which, by the way, is Jewish anyway. You kick out the Mohammedans, you take this over, and if they don't release the hostages in 3 hours, you blow up the buildings. So, if they want to have this place, for a little time longer, they will have to release the hostages, and then you will back off, But if they don't, just blow up the buildings, take it over, and let the Jews come up to the Temple Mount. Okay? But it's probably not going to happen because the shadow government is running things behind the scenes, and of course there's an agenda for. But yeah, that's a way to actually, put pressure on the people in Gaza. Do they want this place or not? Because these hostages, we want the hostages, right? If you want to put absolute maximum pressure on these bullshitters in Gaza, Hamas, you take the Temple Mount. You give them 3 hours to release the hostages, or you blow that up. Because every single time the Mohammedans look at the flag of Hamas, you just go look it up. Look at how the Hamas flag looks like. Well, actually, we can actually check it out, right? Yeah, let's see. And we can just see if we can find the Hamas flag. I know I have it many places and all that, but see here, Hamas flag. And every time they kind of, have this building in the background. So there you go. Hamas, they have the flag with the swords and all that. See if you can maybe turn it around here. There we go. I guess. So you see some of Israel. This is the Hamas. If you see the Hamas flag and all that, you see the Hamas flag right there. You see this, and you can also translate it. I did translate it. I have some pictures on that and all that. And fighting for Al-Aqsa or something like that and all that. And Muhammad is also mentioned as far as I recall and all that. You can translate it yourself. But look at that. That's the golden dome right there. And then swords and all that. Hey, if you want to have them lose, just take that out, And let's see here if we can find. Yeah, there we go. Here we have the logo of the Hamas, and you can translate it with Google, although I have some issues with it and all that. Maybe you can also ask some Mohammedans in regards to what it says. But here you have the golden dome. Boom, 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 boom. And up there you can see the Israeli, although it doesn't have the golden height. Maybe it's not updated at this point. I think some of them actually have an update of the golden height on it and all that. But as you can see, all of Israel, all of it, they want all of Israel. They don't want just a part of it. They want all of Israel. And swords, I wonder what that could be, talking about. Fighting for Al-Aqsa in regards to the Golden Dome and all that. Yeah. Anyway, so, personally, if you really want to hit them where it really hurts, you go up and take the Temple Mount, which, by the way, is Jewish anyway. This is where the Jewish temple was standing, and it's going to stand in the future as well. But anyway, this stinking, filthy building, who also says that Allah does not have a son, which of course is not the God of the Bible in regards of Jehovah, because Jehovah is plural singular, he's not absolute singular. But anyway, Elohim is plural in Hebrew, Anyway, so you just go up there, take it out. And of course, you need to, understand that, of course, there will be some resistance to this. But, if you want to pressure them at the maximum in regards of getting your hostages back, go up and take it. And, of course, ready up for resistance in regards to this. But if you blow it up, how much resistance can they really do in regards if the buildings are not there? That's why the Jews would need to be quick in regards of it. They would need to go up quickly and fix it, and be ready to blow these buildings up, or what do you call it? Run them down. What is it called? Bulldozing. Either bulldozing or blowing the building down, or just quickly taking them out. And give Hamas around 3 hours or so. Well, the Jews can figure that out for themselves, how much time they want to give them. So the Mohammedans can't mobilize in regard to this, and then just take it out. And every time they look at that stinking, filthy Hamas flag, they will think about losing, Yeah. Anyway, if you want to pressure them to hand over the hostages, sadly it didn't seem to work in regards of he want to give them $5 million for a hostage, right? Or some hostages, to release some of the hostages and help in regards of, and they don't even want to take that, right? The question is, of course, how many hostages are actually still alive, So that's the thing, right? But if you really want to pressure them at the very maximum, well, you have something in the Jewish capital at the Temple Mount, this blasphemous, stinking building of Satan standing up there. You have two of them at least, 2 Mohammedan buildings. You can take them out. This is not the holy place of the Mohammedans, well, the third holy place and all that. This is not that place. This is Jewish place, It's like, but of course, again, the shadow government and all that. So this probably won't be a thing, But hey, if you really want to, if the Jews really, really want to hit them where it really, really hurts, you take those buildings out. You go up there, take it up, and say to Hamas, you people will either release our hostages right now, or your buildings are gone. What you're fighting for will be gone, obliterated. And the Jews will have free room to go on the Temple Mount, and not the Mohammedans. You Mohammedans can leave. If you want to go to one of your holy places, you can go to Saudi Arabia, Let the Saudis, say, hey, we have 2 holy places in Saudi Arabia, right? Yeah, Mecca and Medina, right? You can go down and kiss that stinking, filthy black stone, Go 7 times around or whatever and kiss that, that rock from the heavens and all that. You give me a break. You look like Roman Catholics when you're doing that, okay? Filthy, stinking, pagan worshippers of the devil, Anyway, so yeah, leave the Jews alone. This is Jewish homeland. Get it in your brain that this is not your land. Stop cursing the Jews. And if you hate Jews, then leave their land. We have a lot of people who love Jews. We love Jews. And we love going to Israel and talking with Jews in their own homeland. Of course, we don't like that, as a Christian. Of course, they don't, in regards of their views on Jesus, it's not solely, but, we still love Jews, And of course, we see a growing number of Jews actually, becoming Christian Jews, Messianic Jews, and it's wonderful because Jesus is a Jew and he is God in the flesh. And he did die for the sins of the world once and for all at the specified time. Of course, that the so-called rabbis, I usually call them rabbis, that they put a curse on that Jews shouldn't calculate the Daniel 9 in regards to the 77s, because then the Jews would understand that the Messiah had to come around 2,000 years ago. And he did. He died for their sins, not only for the Jewish sins, but, Israeli sins. He died for the whole world's sins, And And what the Jews threw from the table down to the floor, we dogs, we Gentiles, eat, They broke the bread and threw it to the floor, finding no worth in it, and they took the wine and poured it out, and we dogs, from the woman who has no husband, this woman who did not have a child, now have more children than the woman who has a husband and who had a child. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so this is you can look up the flag and all that, and you can fix this and see what it says and all that into Google thing and all that, and or maybe you can ask some Mohammedans; they can tell you in regards of it what it actually says and all that, But yeah, if you really want to hit them, you take that out. You go up and take the Temple Mount, which is Jewish anyway. Anyway. See here. Show the Mohammedans you're actually willing to do it. To move an action in regards to this, because maybe they will think a little about oh no, we should maybe not do that, because maybe the Jews will actually do something that we don't really want. All the rest of the battles and all that. That's like that's thing that they can kind of. But this place, they don't want to lose this place. They don't want to see these buildings blown up, because then they lose. That would be a losing feeling, and I guess apparently need to turn this around. There we go. And of course, if the people of the world really wanted peace in that region, they would push Egypt to open up the borders, and Jordan as well. Now, and Egypt have the whole of the world that want to help out in regards of aid and in regards of things, and helping these people being naturalized into Egypt, into Saudi Arabia, into wherever Mohammedan nation they want to go to. You have the whole world community willing to help. And no, we can't have that, right? Because there is an agenda behind the scenes. Anyway, let's further.
So you're saying two-state solution, but look what they did. I said, who's they? She said the Israelis, and her friend said the Jews. They have taken to expand the road of Road 60 or Street 60.
Road 60.
They have taken lots of land with olives on it. So where is this two-state solution that they're talking about when they're taking more and more of our land?
Well, that would stop. You would have all the West Bank and Gaza.
لو بيصير حل دولتين هذا الشيء بتوقف. ترجع لنا الضفة وبترجع لنا غزة.
بس ماشي كيف بدها تصير حضرنا القيود واخذ اراضينا ما فينا اراضي.
It would remain with the same restrictions they have taken from our lands.
No, they would be gone.
يعني بعد كل اللي صار بالذبح وكانت الاطفال
After all these massacres and genocide.
I've been speaking too long, then it backs up in the back. After all these massacres and genocide.
And killing, how can we agree for two-state solution?
How can we agree? Yeah, again, don't agree. Move out. Let Egypt open up the borders, Jordan open up the borders, move out. If you have a problem with the Jews and you don't want to live with... there's actually Arabs that don't have a problem with living with the Jews. Okay? And as long as the Arabs understand that this is actually Jewish homeland and can live peacefully with the Jews, that's okay. But if you believe that this is not Jewish homeland, you have a problem. And if you hate the Jews and you curse the Jews, you should get out. You shouldn't live with the Jews then. You should go out of Israel, because this is their land, and this is the only Jewish state and land or country there is. And you have a problem with that? There are 57 other Mohammedan nations you can go to. Proclaiming that this is your land, in regards to you Pakistanians, is absolute rubbish and bullshit. If you want to live in that land, then live in peace with the Jews. It's like, oh, Jews, that's awesome having Jews around. In the Jewish homeland? oh, look at that. We have Jews all around in the Jewish homeland. Awesome, We have some prophecies talking about the Jews would return. Oh my, and here they are. How wonderful. Yeah, but apparently you don't think that. Yeah, anyway.
Well, then,
There have been martyrs from every family.
but then you would have a state and it would stop.
بس ولكن مع كل الدولتين صفي لنا دولة لحالنا وهذا القتل والإبادة بتوقف.
بتوقف بس بالمقابل راح يكون شيء يعني في ناس اخذوا كل اراضيهم.
وين أراضيهم؟ عم تحكي عن الضفة.
انا الضفة
هو عم بحكي إنه حل الدولتين معناها كل شيء بيرجع.
احنا طريقة المنهج لما نجي يحكوا يعني انا
They have taken last day. I said which lands? Yeah, they have taken our lands.
She said the one that they're building Road 60 on.
بس طريقة المشي اللي احنا بنيجي عليها باعتبار في إلنا تعتبر يعني تشوفيها فيها كمية هائلة من أشجار الزيتون مليئة بالطبخ نسيج الزيتون المواطنين مش عارفين يصورونها.
The Israelis have confiscated so much land. There is land with over 500 olive trees that they have confiscated, and the people who own these trees can't access them.
But let's say, no, but you would get all that land back. There would just be two states. The West Bank belongs to you, Israel belongs to them.
كمان مرة هو بعيد بيسألك نفس السؤال. لو كل شيء رجع، لو كل هاي الأراضي رجعت هي في الضفة رجعت لنا والأراضي اللي أخذتها شارع 60 رجعوا تقبلي بحل الدولتين؟
لا
برضو؟
Yeah. And just accept it, Just no, that's not, okay. So what are we going to do? Well, Egypt, open up your borders, Egypt. It's like, again, they always want to blame the Jews, right? Oh, we have all this aid and it's just standing, in Egypt and all that. Yeah, so you have all the aid, all those trucks in Egypt. And so I have a solution. Open up the borders for the people in Gaza to get into Egypt and get that aid. Oh, wow, what a suggestion. What an idea, right? I don't know where that came from. Oh, it's so hard to... Let's see. We have all the aid, the food, the medical things, and the water and all. We have them on the side in Egypt where there's actually peace, There's no rockets, no war going on and all that. But we can't open up the borders for the people who want to leave Gaza. Helping also the Jews fighting Hamas. So those 8 things won't go to Hamas. Oh, that's another thing, right? Oh, yeah. It's like, what an idea, right? What an idea. But you want to commit to these Mohammedan summits, in Saudi Arabia. I think there was 2 of them or something like that. One in Egypt, and then maybe it's the other way around. And they just don't want to bullshit around. Two-state bullshit. And we can't talk about this other thing, And I know they know, so they're criminals. These people know about a solution and they don't want to talk about it. They're criminals. They might turn it around and say, oh, yeah, you are the... No. You guys, Jordan, Egypt, you're criminals. You know of a solution, and I know you know about it, but you do not want to do it because you have a political agenda. And the rest of you bullshitters out there in the world, you do not want to do it, and you could do it. You could just talk to Egypt and Jordan, and say, well, let's do this. Let's help the Jews. Let's help Israel out and the people, in Gaza who just want to live a life, they just want to have a life in peace, Open up the borders and see, in the beginning, I can remember but if we open up the borders, no one would leave because we're going to stay. We are the resistance and we are this and that and all that. And we will stand against the Jews and all that. Yeah, right. Okay, so the thing is that Egypt kind of had the problem in regards of, they were afraid of another exodus. In regards of flowing in of people from Gaza into Egypt. So you see, on one side, they will say, oh, no, we're going to stand against the Jews. We're not going to leave and all that. Well, give the people of Gaza a possibility to do it and see what happens, okay? Because, I think there's a good amount of those people, actually, that might actually just want to live a life. that wants some peace, that doesn't want to be part in this conflict. But the thing is that those people in Gaza are used as a political piece to make conflict, So, yeah, Egypt have a border with, and they could open it up. They have all this land, right? Because the Jews gave it to them, right? Yeah, land for peace and all that. Whatever. Yeah, so there should be enough land to have people, on the other side, right? And a place where there would be no rockets and all that. Yeah. So what did the Egyptians do? They did the exact opposite. Yeah, they enforced their border. Isn't that interesting how that goes? Enforcing the border. And of course, we also knew about the tunnels down. It's like I don't know why this came out later on. Oh, they have these tunnels and all that. We've known that from long time. There's like documentaries about it from long past in regards to tunnels between Egypt and Gaza and all that other what is it called the I can't remember but the it was like the that's a word for the anyway whatever. It's interesting how that just comes out later. Like we've known about that for a long time, But yeah, in a way, the solution is open up the borders, Egypt. And they should have done that for a long time ago. And they're hypocrites when they're these summits and they're talking this and that and all that. I guess I didn't really get. There's like the last summit was a little over 5 hours you can listen to. I think I listened to a little over 3 hours. It's the same bullshit they say again and again as the other summits and all that and the United Nut cases and all that. It's the same bullshit. Two-state solution, depravity, and peace and security and all that rubbish, and whine about that. Oh, we have aid and this and well, then open up your borders and let those people from Gaza into Egypt.
They're shaking their heads now.
Israel is gonna cease to exist
There we go. And this is also something that they believe. Israel is going to cease to exist either way. This is their goal. This is what they want. This is what they believe is going to happen at some point. So they believe they just need to resist Israel and make as much conflict for the Jews as possible, and then as all of a sudden they will just be gone, or at some point they will have the opportunity to paint all Israel red with Jewish blood and drive the remnant into the ocean. You see, the Mohammedans just need to win one time. They just need one opportunity to go in and do what they really want to do. And what they want to do is like what they did on the 7th of October, just on a huge, large scale, in the land of Israel. So, yeah. So who is in the right and who is in the wrong? Well, the Jews are in the right. And again, I understand that the Jews are not spotless saints and all that, but this is Jewish land. This is not Arabian or Mohammedan land. And again, if they want to curse the Jews, if they hate the Jews, if they have a problem with the Jews, they should leave Israel. Just leave. You have 57 other options. In the Quran. Yeah, there we go. In the Quran. Yeah. So they come back and then we wipe them out. We paint the whole land red with Jewish blood, Anyway, the Quran, of course, is a blasphemous bullshit book of the devil. But anyway, it's stinking, filthy Mohammedans. You have, around 2 billion of these bullshitters. And it's stinking, filthy, wicked. I mean, it's like this soft. Oh, we talk to them about soft. Oh, when you hear about like we believe nearly everything you believe. Oh yeah, you just rejected Jesus, God in the flesh. You reject that he's the Son of God. You reject that he was executed on a tree and thereby did not die for the sins of the world, and thereby reject that he was resurrected from the dead, showing that he conquered death, right? But yeah, we agree on so many other things. Oh yeah, but these are kind of the most important things, you just throw out. So I don't care in regards to what we agree on. I care about the things that we disagree on, because those things that we disagree on are the most important things. And no, you do not believe in Jesus. You believe in a made up fake version from a false prophet that came 600 years after the event, who never knew Jesus, who never talked to Jesus, who wasn't there. 600 years after the event. How mental depraved do you need to be to follow a man like that? 600 years after the event. It's, you have to be special, special kind of retarded, and you have around 2 billion people of those around.
As myself, as Aya, I wouldn't agree.
Why?
ليش لا؟
It is our land. It is our sacrifices. It's not your land. Anyway, I think Netanyahu again should take over the Temple Mount and give Hamas 3 hours, because they already, now Netanyahu have given the Hamas a very, very, and those people keeping the hostages, a very good offer in regards of getting those hostages out. $5 million, and in regards of protection of their family and all that. And doesn't seem like, as far as I know, they haven't taken any of these offers, and all that. So I think it would be on the table to take over the Temple Mount. Sadly, I don't think it will be done, because there's, the shadow government working behind the scenes and all that have an agenda and all that. But, if you really want to push for releasing the hostages, that is where you put pressure on the Mohammedans. And you win either way. If they don't give over the hostages, you take over the Temple Mount. And the Mohammedans will have a huge loss. And when they look at that Hamas flag, they can think about how they lost. How stupidly, and this led out to a total loss. Losing access to the Temple Mount, which, by the way, is not theirs anyway. And that the Jews took it over, and that the Jews now freely can go up on the Temple Mount, as they should be able to, and do their thing. So, yeah. Anyway, not have this blasphemous, stinking, rotten Gentile religion up there, who are following the devil. Yeah. Anyway.
شو بدي ارجع وين بدي اودي الاعضاء اللي راحت الاعاقات اللي صارت مين بدي يعوض مين بدي يعوض
How can this be compensated? What if we did get our lands back? What about all those who were killed?
Well, the first thing, this is not your land, and that's the thing. So you're fighting for something you believe is your land, but it's not your land. So it's like, how can we, in regards of having lost so much? Well, you are the people, fighting for something that is, wrong. Fighting for on a false foundation. So it's on you. It's not on the Jews. The Jews are just defending themselves, and you are fighting against them on a false foundation. So it's like we had. How can this be compensated? Well, how can it be compensated that you are bullshitting around, cursing the Jews, hating the Jews, and trying to wipe them out? How can that be compensated? The thing is, if you hate the Jews, if you curse the Jews, if you don't accept that this is Jewish homeland, you should just leave. Just leave. Move out of Israel.
Be compensated. What if we did get our lands back?
What if we did get our lands back? What about all those who were killed? Again, this is thing like our lands. What if we did get our lands? It's not your land. This is the false foundation. Oh, but this is our land. No, it's not your land. This is Israel. This is Jewish homeland. Your whole bullshit foundation is false. So, you can't blame the Jews when you are fighting for a thing that is wrong. That's not true. It's not your land. It's Jewish homeland. And sure, the Jews are not spotless saints and all that, but it is their land. So they are standing in the right on this, and you are not. You're standing in the wrong. So you need to repent. You need to turn around. You need to stop hating the Jews and stop bullshitting around that this is our land. It's not your land. So, yeah, anyway.
All those who were killed, all those that have been injured, where is the respect for them?
Well, you could just have accepted that this is Israeli land, This is Jewish land. Stop fighting the Jews.
How can we agree to something like this?
Do you want a two-state solution?
No.
No. Why don't you want a two-state solution?
Yeah, great. Okay, another one that will maybe say the truth,
I believe that the two-state solution is kind of unfair for the Palestinians, and especially
Oh, the Philistines, especially considering that.
that a lot of the Israeli occupation
There we go with the occupation again. You see the words that they're using. They're using that, and also in regards to like when they're talking about resisting, right? The Jews, they are the resistance. The resistance for what? The resistance against, against the Jews and Jewish homeland. But anyway, they turn around like we are the resistance and the Jews are the occupiers. Oh, give me a break with the bullshit. Yeah, it's just devilish lies. That's like, and they just continue with it. The whole foundation is wrong, and it's evil and it's wicked. The Jews are in their land. It's all the rest of the bullshitters who are in the wrong place. They are the real occupiers. These Philistinians, Mohammedans, Arabs, occupiers. Oh, by the way, Arabs, right? Arabs. Where do Arabs usually come from? Wasn't that like Saudi Arabia or something like that? That Arabs, originated. Oh, so what are you doing in Jewish homeland? Huh? You stinking filthy Arabs, go back to where you come from, okay? Stop bullshitting around, Anyway, a lot of the Israeli occupation was there we go again. The whole foundation of these bullshitters,
kicking out Palestinians and taking away their
kicking out the Philistinians and taking away their homes.
So I don't believe a two-state solution is.
No, we don't need no. Well, I don't believe in a two-state rubbish madness. No. You go home to where you're coming from. All you Arabs who don't like, those Arabs that can live with the Jews and understand that this is Jewish homeland, that's fine. But all you Arabs who have a problem with the Jews, go home. Go to Egypt, go to Saudi Arabia, go to Jordan, go to wherever you are originally coming from, because this is not your land. It shouldn't be that hard to, like, just think about it. Arabs, right? Arabs, where are Arabs coming from? Saudi Arabia, right? That's the origination of Arabs, right? Not Israel. Saudi Arabia. Arabs are coming from, oh, but this is our land. Oh, really? Really? So Israeli land is Arab land? Oh, my. Anyway, just give me a break with the bullshit. So anyway, so I don't believe a two-state solution. Nope, this two-state rubbish, we should just throw it away. Sadly, I think there actually will be an agreement on it at some time in the future. I don't think the Jews should accept it. I sadly think it will actually be accepted at some point in the future. But yeah. But really, if we really wanted to do a real solution, Egypt would open up their borders, Jordan would open up their borders for people to go to those places out of Gaza, out of the West Bank, and those Mohammedans and Arabs who do not like the Jews, they could get, take some of the offers that the Jews are willing to pay for whatever. You can take the money and then you can leave to another place where, where there are less Jews, If you hate the Jews and, and you have a problem with the Jews, well, then just leave, Sell your property that you have to the Jews who are, I'm sure, willing to pay a pretty good price for it and then leave. And Jerusalem is the Jewish capital as well, okay? So, yeah. Of course, the Mohammedans have something in regards of not selling to the Jews, and that's seen as a bad thing and an evil thing and all that. But yeah, anyway.
Is even plausible at this point because it would be kind of discouraging and unfair for the people who have constantly and still are fighting for their homes back.
Meaning to get their homes back, what is in today Israel, what they had in 1947. That's what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the solution?
Yeah, but the thing is, you Mohammedans kind of try to obliterate the Jews in Israel, right? Yeah. Multiple nations going against Israel, and then losing, and that has kind of been a thing, right? You have had multiple wars against the Jews, and now you have a war again. So if you just leave the Jews alone, they will leave you alone. But of course, you have an agenda. You want to wipe them out. You do not want the Jews to be there, and you believe that Israel will be no more at some point. The only Jewish state in the entire world, and you can't allow them to be there on this little piece of land. You just can't. It's just terrible. It's a huge thing for the Mohammedan religion to have this little piece of land not being in Mohammedan control. Yeah, a biggie problem. You Spaniards also need to be careful because the Mohammedans, of course, have had Spain conquered as well in the past. So, so they kind of also have this idea that that's their land as well. So anyway,
Considering what I know, I don't have a political standpoint to say what my solution is or what a solution could be.
I have a solution. I have a solution. Egypt, open your borders. Egypt, open your borders, and including Jordanian, or Jordan. Open up your borders. Let those people leave. Help the Jews out and stop fueling fire on the conflict.
This war has gone on for way longer than it was supposed to, and no one was actually willing or even...
Yeah, because the Mohammedans just love terrorizing the Jews, That's the whole point. Just terrorize the Jews, make them feel unsafe in the land of Israel and all that. That's, yeah. And now the Jews have had enough, and, yeah.
Looking in the beginning to be able to say, wait, stop, this is wrong, or what's been going on. So I feel like it's been, we've crossed the solution line in so many steps and so many standpoints.
So, but that, in a way, what you're saying is you'll be at war forever.
I can't truly tell you what my solution can be. I pray for peace, and I want peace, and that's what I kind of aspire for, to have a peaceful...
Now, peace for another strike on the Jews, Like, it's time of peace is just the time for, refixing rockets and all that, and, to further terrorize the Jews, That's what they do every single time. Every single time. It's just fixing, another wave of attacks against the Jews, to terrorize the Jews, terrorize the Israelis, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And the Jews at this point have had enough. And that's why the Jews are doing what they're doing these days, And yeah, again, the Jews are not like unspotted saints, okay? I understand that the Jews, as anything else in regards of war and all that, you have things that are not totally good, Sure, of course. But when you're looking at it, this is Jewish homeland. This is Israeli land. The Jews are in the correct. When you are saying that this is your land, in regards to the Philistines, you're liars. You are pushing for conflict. And you're doing it over and over and over again. So, who is in the wrong in this conflict and who is in the right in this conflict? Well, the Jews are in the right. This is their land. And you Philistines and you stinking Mohammedans are in the wrong, and that's just how it is. Your whole foundation is false. It's wicked. It's evil. It's based on bullshit.
I don't want to be an occupation. I don't want to have to go.
There we go
through a
again.
checkpoint to return.
Occupation. You see them, you see the Jews as occupiers, while you are actually the occupiers. You Philistines are the occupiers. You Arabs, what are you doing on Israeli soil? Arabs. Try that again. Arabs. Where are Arabs coming from? Arabs. Saudi Arabia. So what in the world are you doing in Jerusalem? What in the world are you doing in Jewish homeland? Huh? Stinking, filthy bullshitters. The religion of fear and bullshit, lies and deceptions and all that. You should be happy if you just be happy, live peacefully with the Jews in Jewish homeland, And of course, some Arabs actually do. But then, of course, you have a lot of Arabs that don't, and Mohammedans. So, yeah, it's just, you can say it over and over and over again. And there's, of course, so much bullshit out in the world, and probably no one is actually going to see this video anyway, because since you see I'm in the corner or something like that, I don't have any ads and all that, so YouTube are not pushing any of my videos. I guess they don't get any money out of that, because I hate advertising. Advertising is rubbish and bullshit and utter evil and all that. But yeah, the Mohammedan foundation is wicked false, So, so yeah, again, I understand the Jews, they have their own issues for sure and all that. But this is Jewish homeland, accept it or not. If you don't accept it, well, then leave, That's a great solution, right?
Jerusalem. I want to be able to travel around. I want to be able to go visit my churches. I want to be able to go visit lands.
Oh, churches. So maybe this is one of these Arab Christians, which again is interesting how they, when you hear about it, they don't understand how the Christians can be supporting Israel, and like these Christians outside, they just take the Bible too literal. Now, are you kidding me? The Christians outside just take the Bible too literal. Oh yeah, maybe you don't take the Bible too literal enough, So, but this seems to be mostly a problem with the Arabic-speaking proclaimed Christians, whatever they are, Like, it's interesting how it's mostly those who have a problem with things and all that. But anyway, I guess the Mohammedans could probably have persecuted those other Christians who actually stood up for. But anyway, I want to be able to go visit lands that I haven't been visited. Okay.
That I haven't even visited, because I'm currently 21, and all my life has just been in Bethlehem. The one time I got to even go to Jerusalem, visit my church, was through a checkpoint that made me feel like an animal, that humiliated me in so many.
Yeah, and why do the Jews have those checkpoints? You think the Jews just have those checkpoints for the fun of it, or is there something in regards of people blowing themselves up and blowing buses up and whatnot? I think that might be have something to do with that, maybe. That they have these checkpoints.
Different ways, the racism, the harassment. That's what I want to stop.
So if there was a two-state solution.
The racism against the Jews, the harassment against the Jews, saying that this is not their land, proclaiming it over and over and over and over again that this is not Jewish land, that they are occupiers, Anyway, so if there was a two-state solution, that could solve all this. Again, they always put the two-state and then solution on it. This is not a solution, Two-state depravity. So if there was a two-state depravity, that could solve all this. Yeah.
That could solve all this. Why not?
But what would we do with the people that are displaced? What would we do with the millions and hundreds that were murdered? What would we do with the land and the grounds that they kicked out and they let go and they destroyed? What would we do with the olive trees that they destroyed so they can build the hotel or the luxury life for their civilians?
Well, the people who live in Syria or Iraq or wherever today could move to the West Bank. You could have new
No,
towns.
no, no, whoa. So when he's talking about those so-called refugees,
Grounds that they kicked out and they let go and they destroyed.
and in regards to kicked out, many of them actually left in regards to when the other Mohammedan nations was going on to destroy the Jews in Israel and all that.
What would we do with the olive trees that they destroyed so they can build the hotel or the luxury life for their civilians?
Well, the people who live in Syria.
Okay, so those people living in Syria or Iraq or wherever today, and that would be the so-called refugees. And the question is, in regards to it, why are these people still, and also in Jordan, why are these people still refugees? Why are the Mohammedans saying, "Oh, we have all these Philistinian refugees"? Wait a minute, why are they still refugees? Why haven't you naturalized these people? Why do you still consider them refugees? Oh, because you want a political, peace to push against the Jews again. You see, all those Jews that have come from all over the Middle East and all over the world and all that has been naturalized into Israel. But the Mohammedans can't do the same with the Philistinians. And by the way, the West Bank was part of Jordan, So why are they refugees in Jordan, for example, in regards to the West Bank? When the West Bank was part of Jordan? And they're refugees. They're in the nation they already were in the past, but they're considered refugees. Anyway, oh my, so much bullshit. But again, this political game in regards to the shadow government, which is pushing in a specific direction and want the conflict.
Syria or Iraq or wherever today could move to the West Bank. You could have new towns, villages, cities.
Yeah, this Jew, he's pushing forward with this. No, don't even like go that direction. You Jews should not go in that direction. Okay, don't give up that land. The West Bank is part of your land. Don't give it up. Don't give it up. This is your land, and the Mohammedans should shut up their mouth and repent in regards of their views in regards of Israel. The Mohammedans, the Arabs, and the rest of the Mohammedans, those are the bullshitters, okay? You are in Jewish homeland, and that's just how it is. And now we have this, oh, I'm sick and tired of this place. I don't wonder which neighbor it is. I guess it's like having Mohammedans around, right? Always, yeah. Anyway.
Created.
But then that's what we would be doing the same thing that they would. If we want to kick them out, it's the same thing.
No, I don't saying kick them out. I'm saying the people, the Palestinian refugees from 1948 could move to the West Bank and live in Palestine.
It's like that's the thing, right? Why do they have refugees from 1948? Like these different other Mohammedan nations. Why have these people not been naturalized? Why? Because they're using it as a political piece. Because all those Jews from around the world has been naturalized into Israel. All those Jews that were fleeing from all the Mohammedan nations, coming to Israel, they have been naturalized. So why is it that the Mohammedans couldn't do the same? Yeah, isn't that interesting, Political peace.
Move to the West Bank and live in Palestine.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a solution, but it's not, kind of a plausible one. Because if they're gonna move back, we're gonna have to kick the people out. We're gonna have to expand the area.
But there's lots of. If you go from here to Ramallah, past Ramallah, near Jenin. There's lots of land.
Yes, exactly. But is the Israel occupation gonna allow them to come back?
Well, that's the idea.
That's the
In a
problem.
two-state solution, that's the idea. Is you would have your own country. You could do what you want. That's the idea.
But we want our whole country, not part of
There
it.
we go.
We don't want to be.
There we go. We want the whole thing. We want the whole thing. And that's actually what they really want, So again, those talking and saying yes to a two-state rubbish, madness, and all that, the only thing that they are seeing it is a step in the direction of throwing out the Jews, okay? You have to kind of understand that, okay? You can't fall for the bullshit and the lies and the stinking, filthy depravity that is out there and being pushed. It's like incredible when you're in Israel. It's kind of the insanity kind of goes away in regards of the what is actually going on. But when you're outside of Israel, it's just all this propaganda and bullshit and rubbish and all that, just takes over, and the hatred against the Jews and the bullshit against all, the Jews and this and that, and their occupiers and whatnot, and they're not occupiers. This is their land. Anyway, we don't want to be at the aftermath of the war, okay?
The aftermath of the war. We don't want to be the crumbs you get after the rich finish their meals. Okay, that's the problem. There's a very, very big power dynamic here, and we don't have the power. We don't have the upper hand.
No, and that's what they want, because the Mohammedans can't handle that the Jews have the upper hand in the Jewish land. The Mohammedans just oh no, we can't have that. The Mohammedans want to be seen as the great. Like if you look at mosque, they want to have the mosque to be on the highest place so they can show everybody else that they are above any other. It's like, so they want the highest place so they can show that they are the rulers over the rest. That they are, like as she said, Nancy here, that they have the power over here.
Rich finish their meals. Okay, that's the problem. There's a
very big power dynamic here, and the thing is, the Mohammedans want the upper hand, but now the Jews have the upper hand, and they don't want that. The Mohammedans can't accept that the Jews have the upper hand, out in this little piece of land, Oh no, we can't have that,
Power dynamic here, and we don't have the power.
We don't have the power, no. And that's what they want, They want the power over the Jews, and they don't want the Jews at this place. They don't want a Jewish state, and we don't have the power. We don't have the upper hand. No, you don't, and you shouldn't ever get it in regards of the land of Israel. Jews, Israelis for Israel. You shouldn't. You stinking, filthy Mohammedans shouldn't have the upper hand on Jewish soil, on Israeli soil. If you can't accept not having the upper hand, you should just leave Israel, okay? Stop making conflict for the Jews. This is not your land. It is Jewish land, and your whole foundation is based on bullshit, rubbish, and nonsense. Your filthy religion of terrorizing, actually, I'm missing the word here. Your filthy, stinking religion of terror. Well, that would be one word, but the filthy, stinking religion of fear. Like trying to fix fear into people, terrorize people, do whatever you can, and bullshit around the religion of lies and deceptions, and it's a filthy, 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 filthy religion of the devil. Of course, any Mohammedan should repent and look to the real version of Jesus, and don't become a Roman papist, because it's the part of the same system. Two sides of the same wicked system. You have Mohammedans on one side, or Mohammedanism on one side of the coin, and you have Roman poopery on the other side. Two sides of the same satanic wicked coin. Those two religions, over 3 billion people, have lots of things in common. One side is just wolves in sheep clothing, and the other side is just stinking wolves, But they have a lot of things in common. But anyway.
It's up to them. And
okay.
They have all the power and all the hand. They can walk in whenever they want and destroy everything that we built. And we can't stop them because we are just civilians. And they have all the military power, all the forces, all the equipment.
Yeah, the thing is, if the Jews didn't have all that military power and all that, you would wipe them out. If the Jews laid down their weapons, you would wipe them out. If you lay down your weapons, there would be peace. But if the Jews lay down their weapons, you would annihilate them. So there's kind of a difference in regards to that as well.
Equipment, and they have all the funding. So we have nothing that we can do.
So yeah, so that was a little video in regards to that.
Somebody coming in, or we're going to get killed. Hey, everybody. I'm glad you got to this point in the video, which means you got to the end. I really need your help. If you haven't noticed, people don't sponsor my videos. I don't have companies asking to give me money to advertise anything. I rely on you guys to help keep this going. So please donate either
Yeah,
in YouTube by there's ways to
he's making some pretty good videos where he's going out and asking people in regards to things, and that's pretty nice. So why the two-state solution never worked? Anyway, I guess no one will see this video anyway. I don't know if anyone is on the live stream. I doubt it. Usually YouTube doesn't really push my videos on any level. Nope, not a single person. Nope. So no, nothing out there. So I guess it just doesn't matter in regards to making videos when no one is actually going to see them anyway. It's interesting. I saw one of the other platforms, Oduso or Odusi or something like that, and you have one of the guys that have this radio station was uploading some really good videos or some really good radio shows, and you can just see there's just no hits on them. So he uploaded multiple videos on this Uduso or Udusi or whatever, and there was no hits on them. And I'm like thinking like that's incredible. How is it that there's no hits on these videos? um but yeah, of course they also have these problems in regards of the money thing where you can push things with if you have the money. I think not entirely sure in regards to the system overall, but yeah, instead of just letting the videos, like the newest videos, be like coming forward and all that, like on that was one platform that actually was pretty good to that, or with that actually gave you hits, but finding out that is kind of had some issue, had issues with uploading and all that. There was some issues with that platform. What was that called? Can't even remember. Anyway, that was a little video. I think I'll stop here. No one is seeing my stuff anyway, so it's why bother, pretty much. Anyway, may Jehovah be with you, and Yeshua, most precious pearl, and the spirit of truth be in us all. Amen. Take care.